From the very beginning to the very unfortunate end, Rocks D Xebec cemented his legacy within the One Piece universe. Walk with me. Now today we'll be getting into the legacy of Rocks D Xebec, okay? And we're soft launching my Emperor series, okay? I know Rocks wasn't an emperor, but we are about to rank all the emperors, okay? And I know, like I said, he's not an emperor, so, but what would he be? Where would you classify him in a ranking scale, right? I just see him up there with the Kaidous, the Big Moms, the Whitebeards, the Rogers. Roger wasn't an emperor, right? But still, okay? I guess I could put him up there with like the King of the Pirates, but he wasn't the King of the Pirates. He wasn't anything at the time of his death, okay? But still, that's where we're gonna put him. So this is the soft launch of my Emperor series. And before I start, please like and subscribe. We are almost at 200 subscribers. That is my goal. As of right now, the goal will move once we hit 200 subscribers. Please, if you're into One Piece videos, like and subscribe. But for now, let's rank rocks. And I just realized this is going to be a video of me glazing rocks. So if you don't like rocks, I get it, but just keep watching. Now let's start with his first introduction.
戦国さん、ロックスって。
そうか。大昔、海賊島八の巣にて、一つの儲け話のために、メンバーは船長ロックスを筆頭に、若き日の白ひげ、カイドウ。
When Sengoku first introduced us to the concept of the Rocks Pirates, a pirate crew with members like Big Mom, Kaido, Shiki, Captain John, and even Whitebeard, and a couple other heavy hitters, but all led by Rocks D Xebec. This introduction immediately put Rocks on the map as someone who had a lot of influence on future top tiers of the universe. Because, like, what do you mean? Big Mom, Whitebeard, Kaido had a captain at one point? Insane. Insane. And they followed him. They did. They were content on the ship, which led a lot of us to believe that Rocks was the greatest pirate of all time. And honestly, he wasn't too far off from this. But his formal introduction really put it into perspective who Rocks D Xebec was. He, by himself, solo, I want you to remember that, solo, destroyed the gates of justice.
It's opening! Are they actually letting us in?
But that Navy guy said they were gonna leave us on the top current to rot!
Huge metal gates, or maybe iron gates, in the ocean, standing hundreds of meters tall. An insane and unheard of feat. Okay, I just really want you to put that into perspective on how big these gates are, okay? Even in our world, how big that would be and how much force one would need to destroy something like that. Mind you, solo. He did it solo. He went on to infiltrate Marijois, which is another feat in itself because he did this solo. Now think, what character nowadays could do that solo outside of Shanks, you know, or maybe, no, I don't know. Blackbeard probably couldn't by himself. Maybe. I don't know. But he would go on to kill an unnamed admiral. Now this is the type shit I like to see. It is. I'm sorry, okay? Because as of right now, canonically, we don't know an admiral that has died or got killed, murked by a pirate. But Rocks D Xebec did so. Respect. And let me remind you one more time. Solo. He did this by himself. Hello? The admirals are not soft, okay? I don't want this to come off as the admirals are pussy, you know, because they're not. When they need to, they will get dirty, and if it came to that, you die to a pirate, you had to have been fighting with your life, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, respect. That shit is crazy. And the killing of this admiral gave Rocks the opportunity to show up in front of Emu inside of the Pangea Castle, the flower room. Once again, unheard of, okay? Sabo was lucky, absolutely lucky, that Emu gave him that opportunity to escape, okay? I'm just gonna be real here. But Sabo did that by accident, showing up in that room by accident. Rocks knew what he was doing. He came here for a reason. We still don't know that reason, to be honest, but he came there for a reason and wanted to see Emu. He knew about Emu. It's crazy work. And to me, that's not even really like a feat. It's more of a showcase of balls. Balls on this one, I tell you. The confidence that Rocks held, no one after him has showcased that as of yet, until Monkey D. Luffy, of course, because he low-key is just the same. He's almost the same, okay? And Rocks would go on to tell Emu that he will be back here. He'll be back, okay? And doing all this while smiling. Oh, what a legend. Now, finally, I want to remind you just one more time. This was a solo infiltration of Marijua, killing an admiral, destroying the gates of justice, and confronting Emu face to face. Rocks is that guy, okay? Now let's move on to Rocks' clashes. And let's start with his infamous crazy crew, okay? They all joined due to losing a Davy back fight. And in order to be in a Davy back fight, you have to accept to fight, agree to fight, whether it is like a weird game like Foxy was doing or whatever, or if it's a head up like Foxy and Luffy. Either way, Big Mom, Shiki, Kaido, Whitebeard, they all agreed to it and all thought that they could take Rocks, and they all failed. They could not beat Rocks. So yes, Rocks also not only kills admirals, but he also beats your favorite emperors, okay? Let's be real. And they were younger at the time, so they were moving a little different. Now let's move on to Roger, okay? Now, although Roger was a rookie to Rocks at the time, Roger was still very, very strong, heading up with GARP and Rocks on occasion. He and Rocks went on to clash many a times, and that just goes to show how strong his power is if he's able to clash with such characters as Roger, you know? Before Rocks, we all looked at Roger as the strongest pirate of all time, okay? Or just the most important pirate, the one that could do it all. And now we have Rocks here, who went on to clash with Roger without any repercussions. Moving on to GARP. Unlike Roger, this was considered GARP's prime, his peak. And the two would clash a few times, and each time Roger would escape. Now, putting up a fight against the demon of the Marines, it once again speaks to his power, okay? I'm not in One Piece, but what I'm saying is I wouldn't want to fight GARP, okay? Especially in his prime, a young, healthy, fast GARP. I'm sorry. No, thank you. But Rocks did it every time with a smile on his face. You gotta love him. Now let's move on to King Harold, okay? And in my opinion, this was considered Rocks' rival, okay? GARP, I guess you could say GARP was his rival, but GARP was a Marine. He's doing his job, okay? Rocks and Harold are both pirates, okay? And these clashes were friendly. It reminds me of Roger and Whitebeard, okay? Those clashes, they weren't fighting to the death. They were fighting for the fuck of it because it was fun. That's how King Harold and Rocks moved. So standing his ground against the behemoth that was King Harold, characters like Kaidou, Big Mom, Whitebeard, Shiki, Roger, the devil of the Navy, and even an admiral. He was the big dog of his time. But we're not done. Let's keep going. So now we're going to God Valley, where Rocks one-shots the beloved father of Shanks and Shamrock, Garland Garling. The booty! Holy night! Booty! Given the family ties, you would think that Garling would put up more of a fight. But it was nothing to Rocks. Shooting him away, flying him out like Flight 11 and the Twin Towers. Let's be real. And later on God Valley, he was once more face to face with the king of the world, Saint Nerona Imu. Now, throughout this video, we've been amping up, okay, Rocks. Rocks is that guy. I will be real. I'm going to be so real. One of the strongest pirates to ever exist, facing off with some of the best characters in One Piece. But there's nothing, absolutely nothing, anyone can do against Imu as of right now. Because Imu would go on to Domi Reversi Rocks, turning him into a demonic slave-like being, demon, okay, a buffed version of himself that is demonic. It was the beginning of the end. Even though he wasn't in control, okay, he was unstoppable, absolutely unstoppable, begging Roger and GARP to kill him, take him out. And they would go on to basically subdue Rocks, right? But they, even after all their hard work, they couldn't finish him off, leaving Garland to finish off the legend of the sea that was Rocks D Xebec with one shot, leaving him with 1 HP. And, you know, Garling, the bitch ass nigga that he is, took it upon himself to officially take this character out, to completely rid of the god of the sea. Now, if this was a regular, you know, ranking of a character, how I usually do in these videos, I would say that is everything that we know about Rocks as of right now. But it's just not the case, because I left out a few minor details, you know, but I'm saving them for when I actually really get to the nitty-gritty with Rocks. That is when we know more about Rocks, okay? Because we will. Okay, and this leads me to my predictions for Rocks D Xebec. But before we do that, I want to give my thoughts on Rocks real quick, okay? When someone is mentioned in the manner that Rocks was within the One Piece universe, it's either a hit or a miss. And when it comes to Rocks, he hit every single note that needed to be hit. And although we don't know much pre-God Valley era, you know, his impact in the story is unmatched. To a flashback, right? Oh my goodness. This, everything. He introduced us to Domi Reversi, basically to the Holy Knights, you know, to King Harold, to Imu popping up on islands randomly through other characters. Rox's flashback was strong. If there's a better word than strong, then I'm gonna use that word, but for lack of a better word, strong. Rox's flashback, Rox's story from what we know right now was legendary. And all in under 20 chapters. That's what I'm saying. That's the impact that you feel, right? Under 20 chapters out of almost 1,200 chapters of One Piece. In fucking sane. He swung and he hit. He almost conquered, shocked the fan base, shocked the world, grabbed us all by the neck and gave us some good handies. Okay, we were happy with I am happy with what we got with Rocks. He just shook the story up so well. He gave us notes that other characters in the story so far haven't given us yet. And now for my predictions for Rocks D Xebec. Yes, I believe that he is dead, but I don't think his story is over just yet. And what I mean by that is his impact will continue to shake the story. We will get another flashback with Rocks detailing his scheme and why he is making the moves that he was making. And you know, we know a little bit of it, the Davy Jones situation, why he wanted to be king of the world again and stuff, but there's more to it. There has to be, because why did he need 2 devil fruits in particular? He knew about Emu, which is insane. How does he know all this stuff? I feel like we will see Rocks again theoretically, and Blackbeard will bring his plan into fruition. Now on the flip side, what if Rocks didn't die? We're gonna get into that in my theories video on Friday, so make sure you like and subscribe for that. Now I've been going back and forth with myself on how to actually rank Rocks in this ranking system, and if I were to rank Rocks, I would easily give him the rank S compared to the emperors, right? Because we don't have anything else to compare him to outside of Roger, okay? And we don't know much about Roger, but I could see Rocks being one of the first Yonkos of the sea. So although he's not officially a Yonko, we're gonna place him in that stat bar with the other Yonkos. So I'm going to blur out his picture just a little bit, but just know Rocks is an S tier character. He is the father of One of One Piece's final main villains. He is the only person in the story thus far, outside of Joy Boy and Nika, that we know of to press the big bad of One Piece solo. Mind you, solo. A D clan member, a Davy clan member, advanced conquerors hockey. The legend of Rocks D Xebec, or Davy D Xebec, has officially changed the way we look at top tiers in the story. The sheer impact for this character is otherworldly, and all in under 20 chapters, okay? Round of applause for Rocks D Xebec. I'm sorry, but if a character in the story deserves flowers, it's Rocks. He did his big one, okay? Right up to the very bitter end. Now, like I said, this is the introduction to my Emperors series, and I know I keep saying it, but he wasn't an emperor, but he could have been, okay? If that system was around at that time, he was one of the ones, right? But we will be ranking every single known emperor of the story over the next few weeks. Okay, so be here for that. And that'll be every Monday on my channel, and every Friday you will get a theory video that coincides with that emperor. So Rox's theories will be here on Friday. And make sure you check out my Warlord series as well, because we did basically the same thing that I'm doing with the emperors with the Warlords, and it's a great series. I put all the videos into one video if you want to just go check that out. It's amazing. But like I said, we are almost at 200 subscribers. Please, please subscribe to my YouTube. A true conqueror of the seas should have countless theories surrounding them, but we kind of had to dig deep for these, so walk with me. Today we'll be getting into Rocks D Xebec theories. I'm really excited about this, but the reason I say that we had to dig deep for these, we did, okay? I've already covered all of his biggest theories, from being the father of Buggy to having a devil fruit to not having a devil fruit. We've covered almost all the bases, so it's time to reach even more. Walk with me. But before I start, please like and subscribe. We are on the road to 200 subscribers. We're almost there, so please like and subscribe. But let's get into these Rocks theories, and let's start with the theory that Rocks D Xebec might be alive, which is crazy. It's a crazy theory, but I need you to walk with me. Now, we did see Rocks die on God Valley, or did we? Roger and GARP put their all, everything they had into killing the Domi reversied Rocks. And even after all that, he was still on the ground, not fully dead, leaving Garling to finish him off. And you're telling me two powerhouses of the story couldn't do the job, so we leave this chud, a stab wound from this chud, to finish him off? Hello? 2 nuclear bombs versus 1 premature coughing baby? It's questionable. It's questionable, to say the least. But could have 100% been a fake out, okay? He told Emu that he would be back here. And I'm guessing that is Marijwa, the flower room. He will take control of the world. Now let's speculate on how Rocks would have escaped on God Valley, as the island was effectively destroyed and even sunk into the ocean, leaving us to believe that this was his grave. But today, he survived. And for the first escape route, it's devil fruits, okay? 3 in particular, walk with me. The first pick is my pick, and it's because I really want someone in the story to awaken this devil fruit, but it's the chop fruit, if awakened, okay? Now, what makes me think he had the chop fruit? If we look at his introduction, there is a moment on Elbaf where one of the mountains behind him was chopped in half. An awakened version of this devil fruit could allow the user to do this to its surroundings, like Luffy's devil fruit or even Emu's. And if we look at the chop fruit itself, Buggy can easily negate sword attacks, okay?
Oh, nice save! Jet human shield! Hey, what's wrong with you? I'll die! Come! Human shield! Cut it out! All right! Enough! Your sword's not working!
Which would make it easy for Rocks to negate the life-taking attack from Garling. And after all the chaos, one of Rocks' crewmates could have came back and scooped him up, effectively saving Rocks, taking him off of God Valley. Now the next devil fruit is the Yami no Mi. This is the most popular guess on what Rocks' devil fruit was. If he had a devil fruit, he could have easily swallowed up a lot of those attacks and a lot of the impact that was hit on him through the darkness. In this part right here, I'm gonna need you to walk with me, okay? He could have black holed himself, sending himself to another dimension for a short period of time. If this devil fruit is awakened, that's what I'm hoping we can see for the Yami no Mi if it ever does get awakened. Now moving himself to another dimension or pulling out of this other dimension. He could have pulled somebody else out, you know, he put somebody else in there a long time ago, pulled them out, and that is the person that Garling stabbed, right? It's kind of a crazy take on things, because Law did it to Doflamingo. Doflamingo thought he killed Law up there on Dressrosa, but no, it was somebody else. Once again, leaving him to survive the life-taking attack from Garling and effectively surviving the whole God Valley incident, and one of his crewmates could have taken him off the island. Now, the final devil fruit that could have helped Rocks escape the God Valley incident is the Ope no Mi. Okay, just walk with me. We're gonna look back at the Elbaf mountain once again. He's doing the finger sign that Law does when he does room, and basically uses his devil fruit for anything. What if he was doing that to cut the mountain? Why? I don't know, you know, but it's just so weird. Why is that mountain cut? Okay, I've always questioned that, but I mean, that's not what we're focusing on here today. And like I said with the Yami no Mi devil fruit, he could have pulled a Law. Law literally did this with the Ope no Mi.
Go ahead. You'll die just like Law.
Shambles.
Creating a room, switching his bodies with fodder on the island. I could see this happening for Rocks. Once again, surviving the last fatal shot by Garling. Later saved by a crewmate. Editing this video, I realized I forgot to say that if Rocks did have one of these devil fruits right, eventually he would have had to die because all 3 of these devil fruits are currently in use. So I wanted to just add that in real quick. I'm not stupid. I understand what would happen if he had these devil fruits. That means one of the people that I claim that have these devil fruits wouldn't be here, or at least wouldn't have their devil fruits. On the flip side of all that, he could have simply just survived the fatal attack by Garling still being saved by one of his crewmates. Okay, I keep saying a crewmate. Who is the crewmate that would have saved Rocks or made sense? Because Big Mom, Kaido, Shiki, Whitebeard, they all escaped, okay? They knew it was the end, so they fled, okay? And as they should. I mean, if I seen something like Domiroversi happening, I'm dipping, I'm leaving, I'm sorry. But one character that we don't really know whatever happened to is Barbell the Fishman, okay? I need you to hear me out. He could have pulled another Law. Well, Beppo, okay? Beppo saved Law from Blackbeard on Winter Island. I could easily see Rocks somehow saving himself, actually not dying, Barbell swooping in, taking him off the island without anybody noticing. He is a fishman, so he could have swam in the sea fast as shit, getting the fuck out of there so nobody noticed anything that was happening. Now, to add a little bit more to this, according to Robin, Davy Jones resides on the sea floor, okay? He could parallel Davy Jones. Barbell could have took him to the sea floor where he resides in secrecy to this day, with Hordy Jones being his second or third, if you believe that Buggy is Rox's son. Rox's son. Hordy Jones was Rox's son. Hello, Hordy Jones, Rox, Davy Jones, Davy D Jones. Hello. I know I'm reaching, but it's not that crazy, okay? I mean, if Blackbeard was a fishman, he would look like Hordy Jones, right? I mean, I don't know. But effectively living on the seafloor like Davy Jones to this day. Now, why? Why would Rocks survive? What is his next move? What is he planning? Well, walk with me, because we're still reaching here. Could Rocks be the man with the burn scar? Having the final poneglyph that everyone is searching for? Because Rocks seems to know a lot about history that everybody in the One Piece story doesn't know these things, you know? How did he know that Davy Jones was the last king of the world, you know? So it's just little things like that. He had a lot of intel, okay? And a way that he could know all this intel is having the final poneglyph and somehow reading them, somehow, some way. Him being in possession of the final piece of the puzzle, it kind of makes sense, okay? He was on the verge of doing what people are trying to do right now, although a lot of the people that are trying to do the thing that they're doing right now don't even know that Imu is sitting atop of the world. He did. He has knowledge. It could have been the poneglyph. And indeed, he could be the man with the burn scar. As we do know now that Imu possesses a power called Omen, Imu could have burned him on God Valley, you know, and it never fully healed, or it's just a burn scar. Okay, let's say he has this poneglyph, right? Why hasn't he given it to Blackbeard or helped Blackbeard in Blackbeard's case? And in my opinion, I just don't think that Rocks would like the way that Blackbeard is moving, okay? Rocks was more of a chaotic neutral, right? Like Rocks barked at Kaido when Kaido mentioned that they should just take control of King Harold, you know, Blackbeard would do something like that. Rocks, on the other hand, said no, he is a good friend. We would never do something like that. Rocks went out searching for the people that had the devil fruits or the devil fruits themselves, while Blackbeard is literally hunting devil fruits as a sport. So in turn, if Rocks is the man with the burn scar living on the bottom of the sea, it wouldn't make sense to take the throne from evil and handing it right back into more evil. Now, on the flip side of this, not wanting to help Blackbeard, what if he is the man with the burn scar and is helping Blackbeard from the shadows? Having Blackbeard do his plan, and this time more successful, more diligent, I should say, more sneaky, to allow the Davy clan to reclaim its throne as the king of One Piece. Now, he could also be planning a rematch with Emu or even Garling, with Garling and Rocks and Shanks and Shamrock versus Blackbeard, something along those lines, for his final act of revenge. Now, this is where everything else that I've been saying, I low-key, like, there's a small chance that it could be a possibility. But what I'm about to say is, okay, it's kind of crazy. What if he is the one on Marijois causing all the havoc? The havoc that made Shamrock have to leave Elbaf and go back to Marijois. Finally getting that fight that Rocks always wanted. But I really think he wants to fight Emu, so I don't think he's the one on Marijois, but someone's on Marijois. I'm very interested in that topic as well. Now, in an in-game situation, this is what this would be crazy if it happened, but I see Garling, Shamrock, and Shanks about to kill Blackbeard, about to take the last shot, as that family is very famous for the last shot on Blackbeard. And all of a sudden you hear laughter from the shadows. And everybody's like, what the fuck? And it's Rocks D Xebec. He comes and saves his son, killing Garling in the process. I don't think an old Rocks could go up against Shanks and Shamrocks at this point, but definitely Garling easily, because he's also old. So I could see those two having their beef, giving Blackbeard a second chance. Now for a little recap of my Rocks D Xebec theories. We theorized about Rocks D Xebec being alive and the 3 devil fruits that could have helped him stay alive, and how he escaped God Valley, and how he is living on the seafloor with the fishmen and had a fishman child named Horty Jones. Okay, we get into it, and finally we get into what his plans may be, either helping or not helping Blackbeard, as they have different views, it seems like, and how he could be the man with the burn scar. I would love to know your thoughts on these theories, so please let me know down below. I don't know, I'm like, the more I talk about it, the more I'm like convincing myself that, oh my god, this could be real. But you know, I don't write One Piece. We're glad we don't write One Piece. We're glad Oda's the author, whatever. And whatever happens with Rocks in the future in the series is going to be amazing. But I just love a good theory, I really do. This was the soft launch into my Emperor series, although Rocks isn't an emperor. When it comes to One Piece and we put people places, he sits at the table with other emperors, okay? And I could even see him sitting at the table of King of the Pirates with Luffy, Joy Boy, Roger, you know, I could see him sitting there as well. So we will re-rank him in the future, because that's where I put him. But for right now, Yonko status. And for the next few weeks, we will be getting into every single Yonko in the story and ranking them along the way, a deep dive into all of their stories. Elbaf currently holds the crown for the sheer amount of reveals that we've gotten. Let's talk. And today, yes, I have a mic now. Hi. We will be talking about the epic reveals in Elbaf and how well they're done, specifically character reveals, because there's been a lot of lore drops in Elbaf. We all know about this, okay? It's actually crazy. But I want to focus today on the character reveals, okay? So let's get into it. Now, at the very beginning of Elbaf, we see a silhouette sitting on the outskirts, the coastline of Elbaf. and it was Scopper Gaban. It was inevitable for us to meet Scopper, and it honestly, at this point in the story, it is a theme to meet ex-members of Roger Pirates at important stops on this journey. Now, the first one, we all know, it was Crocus, and we met him during the Reverse Mountain arc, and he gave us a log post. That's what he taught us, to travel and make our way around the dangerous waters of the Grand Line. At the mid-story point, we meet Silver's Rayleigh as they are trying to enter the New World. And Rayleigh teaches Luffy hockey, okay? And this is great, okay? Because you need hockey to survive in the New World. We all know this, blah, blah, blah. So shout out to Rayleigh. And now we are at the elbaf stop. And what will Gaban teach us this time? I don't know. I'm guessing it's going to be something to do with Conqueror's hockey. And the main people that are going to get the biggest buff from this, or, you know, lesson from this, is obviously Luffy, Zoro, but most importantly, I'm rooting for Sanji here, okay? From that awkward little talk that they had about Conqueror's hockey more towards the beginning of elbaf, but the power of love really stands out for this Sanji and Gaban interaction. That's what Gaban is all about. Sanji has even mentioned it a few times throughout the story, so I think something more is going to come from that. Now, the next reveal that we are going to talk about is Prince Loki. OMG. The silhouette was first revealed way back on Thriller Bark, I'm pretty sure, and he looked goofy, but like, you know, he's a prince, so you're thinking that he's this strong character, you know. And then when we get to, you know, Fishman Island and we meet Shirahoshi, I was a bit disappointed with that royal family in particular. Neptune was just, you know, old, not in his prime. Shirahoshi, she's just a baby, I guess, you know. But it's like, girl, come on now, you're big as fuck. But the brothers of the royal family on Fishman Island didn't give me nothing. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So when it came to royal families, because you have Rebecca, you have Vivi, it was just like, fight for yourself, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I was thinking when I was gonna meet Loki. Absolutely complete opposite of everything that I just said. Because I thought he was going to be goofy, like a very strong character, but still goofy. No, he's not. The absolute Chad Mager of a character. I absolutely stan. I think his character design is gorgeous. He's a handsome character, you know, and I like it. Not to mention his insane devil fruit transformation when he turns into a dragon. OMG! Oh my god, I'm sorry. I shouldn't scream anymore. I have a mic. But oh my god. His dragon form is absolutely lethal, okay? The amount of power that this guy holds is sick. Ancient giant blood, broken devil fruit, Conqueror's hockey, Ragnar, the Prince of Elbaf. Are you walking with me? Like, are we seeing the same character? I don't know. He's just very broken. Now, with this Loki introduction, we are also introduced to Ragnar. And Ragnar himself, just by himself, not with Loki, is a broken being character already. He can clash with Loki and still be okay. So, like, this character definitely is a standout reveal. Honestly, wasn't expecting it, to be honest, so it's definitely a standout for sure. Now let's move on to King Harold. Like Loki, this guy also has insane aura, okay? The character design itself, with or without horns, might I say, you know, he's kind of giving. And honestly, I know for a fact, you know, we're not going to make it to Elbaf in the live action, but for example, if we did, I would like to see Roman Reigns play this character. Am I tripping? Maybe Kaidou? I don't know, because when Harold was first introduced and we seen his face, a lot of people were saying he looked like Kaidou, and they wondered if Kaidou and Loki were brothers, which would have been insane. We still don't know. But I don't know. How do you feel about that? But either way, he looks great, okay? And it also has this ancient blood in him and was a very broken being. His haki was insane. He was able to clash with rocks, being untouched. You know what I'm saying? So this guy has so much power, and I respected him so much. I just really don't like how his story really ended, because I think Harold had so much potential as a character. And when it comes to power and stuff like that, just the king of elbaf, you know. And I'm so glad that this family of elbaf, minus Hyridin, I'm sorry guy, but I'm just so happy that they are broken, you know, like can fight for themselves, can stand up for themselves, you know. They don't have to be under the control of another pirate, even though elbaf is under control by Shanks. I don't think they need it. They don't. Now, just because I don't like the way his storyline played out, I still think it was great storytelling. And you know what? I'm gonna give it to Oda because it made you gain more respect for Harold, even though he kind of traded on his people just a smidge without really knowing, you know. So he's just delusional. But I still like his character, okay? Now, with this flashback, we arguably get the best reveal in elbaf, and that is with God Valley with Rocks D Xebec. Now, by the very first mention of him by Son Goku, it set the fan base ablaze, okay? People were like, who the fuck is this guy, you know? It's the first time we hear somebody else from the distant past. Like before Roger's time, we really don't know much about that era and stuff, and this was the first guy that had all these crazy subordinates. So the hype for Rocks was great. It was huge, and he did not disappoint in any category whatsoever, okay? From the two-toned hair to the way he carries himself, absolute fucking aura. I know I keep saying aura, but like, come on. Like this, hello? From popping up in front of Emu to clashing with Roger and GARP on that same caliber. But even, I don't know, do we put Rocks over GARP and Roger at this point? You know, we've seen a lot from Rocks, but do we put him over them? And honestly, I don't know. He came before them. Is he stronger? It's very, very hard, very close to tell. But it doesn't matter because this guy fucking delivered. He's truly unmatched. But the thing is, we don't really know much about his power as of yet. I personally still think he had a devil fruit. Go check out my theory videos that I did a while back about Rocks and the potential that he does have 2 devil fruits. Just go check it out. And the fact that he is Blackbeard's dad gave Blackbeard even more aura points. And unlike King Harold, I actually enjoyed the way Rocks' storyline was played out. I know it was a bit fucked up towards the end, but he was just fighting for what he believed in, and his intentions are kind of still unclear. You know, we know Emu is bad at this point, so Rocks fighting Emu, bad. They're both bad, okay? But is Rocks bad? I don't know, because when it comes down to it, pirates are bad, but that's what the world government is telling us, and we still don't know what his plan was. I feel like once we figure out his plan, we'll understand if he's chaotic evil, chaotic good / evil, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's what it might have been. I don't know. I just really loved Rocks, okay? And I enjoyed the way his story played out, and I don't think that that was the last time that we'll see Rocks. I think he has more importance in a flashback somewhere, okay? Another flashback for Rocks. The Aura King may be gone, but he'll never be forgotten, okay? I just like, come on now, that's fucking Rocks. And finally, so far in elbaf, we have our final reveal. We officially meet the king of the One Piece world, Saint Nerona Emu, with the power of the devil's fruit. Easily one of the most anticipated reveals in One Piece. I would say the biggest anticipated reveal in One Piece outside of what the One Piece is. And even outside of One Piece, people have been speculating what Emu would look like for years. They're a girl with big ass boobs, you know, like baddie shot a clock. But turns out Emu is a sexy ass man, okay? And even though we haven't seen much, we've seen enough. This man is the definition of fucking aura, okay? I'm just going to be so for real. The skin color, the clothing, the bro's face, okay? Bro is sexy. It's simple as that. Bro is sexy as fuck. The clouds with eyes, his insane looking weapon. As the final villain, he looks the part, okay? I have zero complaints about this character design and what he's giving, just the energy that's coming off the page. And this is just the beginning of Hurricane Emu. And in my humblest opinions, this is the greatest introduction to a final villain. Because, for example, and not to bring down any animes that I'm about to speak about, but for example, Kaguya from Naruto. It was so confusing, as this was my third anime that I watched, Naruto, all the way up until the end. It was confusing when she dropped out of nowhere, okay, and only lasted, what, 20, if more, maybe less episodes or chapters, let's keep it canon. And it just didn't feel, it felt forced and it felt rushed, okay? And that is one of my biggest critiques of Naruto, and of other animes that introduce their characters, their main villain, so late into the story, and it feels nasty. It's just like, ugh, I can't get behind it. But Emu has been introduced 200 plus chapters ago. Okay, we're keeping it canon, 200 plus chapters ago, and has been part of the story mainly ever since. You know, we'll see them having reactions to things, you know, having a big moment in Egghead with the destruction of Louisia and with Sabo and stuff like that. It's building an anticipation for what this character is going to deliver. And I personally think Oda did this shit so well. I am not dick sucking, okay? I will call out when something is bad. This shit is good. Period, point blank. Honestly, another anime that I could say did this pretty well with introducing a broken, untouchable character so early on. And I say so early on because 200 plus chapters is a lot, okay? But at the same time, it's still not early on. But I feel like it was done well enough. But another one that I feel like was done super early on was Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail introduced Zeref very fucking early on in that story, and I think that was done well too. The thing is, with Kaguya from Naruto, I think it could have been really cool if we had more build up and just things that felt right, okay? Because that shit didn't feel right. I'm just gonna say that. But this rollout with Emu feels extremely satisfying, and I'm here for it, no complaints. Now, there aren't many more reveals left in One Piece. There are a few, but there's after Elbaf, we've seen like a lot of them, and it's given us not only the reveals to characters and the character designs and stuff like that, it has also given us lore dumps, okay? Now, should I make a part 2 about the lore dumps? But there's also, could add more people here, like the God of War, but I feel like that was more of a lore dump. The Holy Knights, but that was kind of mentioned back in Egghead and stuff. So I don't know, I could make a part 2 with the lore, let me know. Okay, so I just needed to jump on here. I need to tell somebody this, and I feel like YouTube and TikTok and, you know, Instagram, where I post a lot, is really the only people that be listening to me. But we just got the official coloring for Rocks D Xebec's hair It has been a huge conspiracy in the community. Is his hair going to be red and black or blue and black, pink and black? You know, Oda can go with anything. And it is white and blue. Hello, my buggy theories? Are you guys out there? Hello? Sorry, I literally just jumped. I was literally about to go to bed. I just jumped on Twitter and seen this, and I just have to post this. I have to. This is insane. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think Buggy and Rocks are related? I mean, personally, if you've been keeping up with my videos, you know I am 100% here for it. 100% a stan of Buggy and Rocks and Blackbeard all being related. So maybe it's just a coincidence, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't believe in coincidences in One Piece. Okay, you guys let me know what you think. There's a lot of theories out there about Blackbeard, but this one in particular has sparked my interest as of recently. Today I want to make a little video just about Blackbeard. Okay, I want to know if this theory is true and if it's gonna come true, because a lot is happening on God Valley. The theory goes that Blackbeard has the octopody no mi model kraken. It's a pirate story. It would be a sin if there wasn't a kraken devil fruit out there somewhere. Now, when it comes to Blackbeard and octopi, the number 3 is a huge standout theme between these two, okay? For example, Blackbeard's Jolly Roger has 3 skulls on it. Why? Weird. But with those skulls, it also has 8 bones that, you know, are with the skulls. Octopi, I don't know the plural for octopus. Octopus have 8 tentacles, okay? He's seen a lot of the times with 3 braided beards, and he also leaves 3 scars on Shanks' face, right? Yeah, 3 scars on Shanks' face. Octopus never sleep, neither does Blackbeard. Okay, fact check. Octopuses do sleep, but it's in like bursts, like they don't get much sleep. Now, people like to say that he is 3 people in one body. Okay, I like that, whatever. But I think it's more than that. I think it's 3 souls in one body. We all know that Blackbeard's lineage or body, whatever, is unique in a certain way. We don't know why or what that is as of yet, but maybe it's because he can eat multiple devil fruits. We already know he has 2. But it would make sense for him to have 3, sticking to this 3 theme that we see with Blackbeard. Now, this is just, it's one of my favorite theories because I start to imagine headcanon here, okay? We already know he has 2 devil fruits as of right now, the Gura Gura and the Dark Fruit. But imagine 8 huge, large tentacles coming out of the sea, the water of One Piece, and slamming 8 huge tentacles slamming down on the water with the Gura Gura fruit. Imagine what that would look like. I think that would be one of the greatest panels in anime or manga history, honestly, and definitely top 3 for One Piece, okay? Now, why am I really saying all this, okay? I think it's because of the Rocks situation that we're going through right now.
This video was filmed before chapters 11, 63, 64, and 65. And what's interesting about it is we actually find out that Emu calls Rocks Davy Jones. And we know that Rocks is Blackbeard's dad. And it's just interesting because Emu can clearly feel or sense the presence of Davy Jones or his will through Rocks, and it's wild, and it's kind of adding to my theory that I'm getting here.
So I think that inside of Blackbeard's body he has 3 wills, okay, or like souls, okay, his own, Rocks, and Davy, okay. This goes into the uniqueness that we know that Blackbeard and Rocks have. Their lineage is special. We don't know the specialty to that. That's why I'm theorizing here, okay? Are you walking with me? Their bodies are able to feed multiple souls, devil fruits, within one body, creating, in the world of One Piece, the most dynamic character out there, okay? And honestly, if that does happen, Blackbeard, he's already respected as one of the final villains in One Piece, but I feel like if this all happens, or whatever happens with Blackbeard, the overall anime and manga community will respect Blackbeard as one of the greatest villains of all time. That power would be so broken. So broken. Rocks calling Imu the world, but also Van Augur telling Saint Saturn that that is Blackbeard's goal, is the world. It's all connected. It's all connected somehow. I just can't prove it yet. Blackbeard's arc is only just beginning. It really even hasn't begun yet. We will see soon. But I just posted a few videos. God Valley predictions. We have Rocks having and not having devil fruits. Why Rocks is so misunderstood. What Rocks said to Roger. I have a lot of videos coming out. But I want to know your guys' thoughts, okay? On this theory in particular. Okay? Do not count Rocks D Xebec out just yet. We have yet to see the power of a true conqueror. It's not over. It can't be over for Rocks. It can't. Not yet. Not yet. But I know coming up here in these next few chapters or whatever, it will be over for Rocks. But as of right now, it is not. Stop. Stop. He's not. Stop. I just uploaded a video about the truth behind Rocks versus Roger and GARP, okay? Please go watch that. I have some very interesting takes on it, okay? And I also just uploaded a video about what Rocks told to Roger, or what Roger seen on God Valley that really changed him and the story of One Piece altogether. So go watch those videos. But let's get into this. Now, in chapter 1163, a lot happened. This is a banger of a chapter, so it deserves all the talk that people are giving it. But the main point I want to put in here, Rocks called Imu King of the Rats. That's interesting. I don't know if it's gonna lead us to somewhere or something that we have yet to see. Maybe. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that Imu doesn't have like the rat fruit. Please no. I don't want to see that. I really don't. And after that, we see Imu call Rocks Davy Jones, but Rocks says he's not that guy. And I pointed out in the spoilers, when I was reading the spoilers, that what if it's like he can feel Davy Jones's will, or like his soul, his energy, just like how when it's mentioned about Joy Boy and Luffy, like you can feel the same energy. But Rocks says a promise ought to be kept. Now, this is another thing that I kind of pointed out in the spoilers video. The promise on Fishman Island, you know, something is up with this promise idea here. But Imu goes on to say, that is why the Davy clan themselves needs to be eradicated. Oh my gosh, what is this promise? I don't have any ideas of what this promise could be. What do you think the promise is? Because I just don't know yet. And this also kind of goes into these videos that I've been uploading. I keep mentioning it, but I feel like Rocks scares Imu. I said it was before Rocks was dummy reversing, but as we seen, it really wasn't. Like Big Mom, Kaidou, Whitebeard, Rocks, Roger, GARP, all hit Imu with a simultaneous attack, and Imu tanks it. We see that, and it just doesn't do anything. Like I said, he tanks it. But I'm moving over to the fence that Rocks, as he is Domi reversing, is going to be an absolute threat, okay, to the island, and I feel like the world. Because Imu says the world of Mu is not completed yet. And it's like things are escalating, okay? Not just here on God Valley, but the story itself is escalating even more. I didn't expect all this from God Valley. I really didn't, but I'm glad we got it because we are about to witness. I said this in my predictions video for God Valley 2. We're about to witness the greatest amount of power in One Piece this far. Okay, I mean, you have Enel is a very strong candidate, very strong, powerful character. Kaidou was a big, strong. Whitebeard was a big, strong. Even Big Mom, big and strong. But I feel like whatever is about to happen next is gonna trump what's going on in the story of One Piece. Absolutely. And I think it's all going to be because of Rocks. I don't think that we're going to see Imu's true power here yet. I just don't think so. But I think we're going to see Rocks do something absolutely insane while he is Domi reversing. And like I said, not only a threat to the island and the people on it, but the world itself. What do you think is going to happen next? I would really love to know. I love hearing predictions about what could happen here in God Valley because there's a million possibilities and all of them or none of them could be true, you know what I'm saying? The most mysterious incident in the history of One Piece is finally underway. We are finally getting to see what happened at God Valley. Today, I want to make some predictions about what I think is going to happen at God Valley. In this video, I want you to leave your predictions about what you think is going to happen at God Valley. We're going to get it within this next couple months. Everything is going to be, I'm hoping everything will be completed before 2025 ends, okay? I just posted a full recap of September 2025, what happens in One Piece. Go watch that if you're behind, okay? A lot has happened. God Valley is really that. A lot more things happened than I would have even thought. So I think it's safe to make some predictions, okay? My first prediction is I feel like Rocks will be Domi reversing, taken control of by Imu, and turning on his peers, his crew, you know? I think it's definitely in the realm of possibility. Maybe Rocks can't even get Domi reversing, so maybe I'm wrong. But I think that is if somebody's gonna get Domi reversing, that's not within, you know, the Holy Knights, at least. I feel it coming. I feel it. My second prediction is an admiral reveal, okay? We know that Rocks killed that admiral on Marijois. We don't know who it was, what their power was, what they looked like. We don't know anything, okay? So I feel like factions here on God Valley, you have the Marines, you have GARP, you have fucking Holy Knights and shit. So why aren't admirals here? At least that we know of right now. I would love to see some older admirals. I'm Admiral Stan, low key, okay, just low key. But when it comes to the world government themselves, that's my favorite faction, is the admirals. Now my third prediction is Big Mom, Kaidou, and Whitebeard are on the brink of death. I feel like it's gonna get to that point where they're almost cooked, okay? We almost didn't have 3 emperors. I feel like it's gonna get to that point. But Rocks tells them to leave. He says, go. I'm finished. You need to go. I feel like that's gonna be a moment. Maybe. My fourth prediction is new devil fruits. This isn't even a prediction. It's kind of like what is gonna happen. But I wanna like say what I think the new devil fruits might be that we haven't seen yet, okay? I think there will be an air fruit / wind fruit, you know. Dragon is kind of, it's a theory that he already has the wind fruit or whatever, but I think that it'll be revealed here. Maybe, maybe not. Also a new fruit is dust. I feel like a dust fruit could be useful, especially the way Oda uses these devil fruits. I definitely think that a dust fruit would kind of go hard a little bit. It would kind of be like the sand fruit. And another devil fruit that I feel like would be very interesting and for somebody to have or even beyond God Valley is a plastic fruit. The amount of new tech that could come out of a plastic fruit would be insane. It would be insane. I forget who that is. It's somebody in their newer recruits in the Marines. They have that clay fruit where they can create anything out of clay and turn things into clay. And I feel like the plastic fruit would be on the same level as that, okay? And another fruit that I think should be a part of the story, whether it be God Valley or not, is plasma. A plasma fruit. Why don't we have a plasma fruit yet? I feel like that would be so hard, so cool for, somebody that we're excited to see having a plasma fruit. What? That's crazy. And my fifth prediction is we will see old users of devil fruits that we've already seen before. For example, a huge theory that dropped out of this month of September was Captain Kidd and Captain John might have the same devil fruit. It is almost 1-to-1. Literally, if it's not his fruit, it's gonna be hard to be like, what is it? Because it's almost too perfect. I also think we're gonna see Akainu's devil fruit. I feel like the Marines, the admirals themselves, keep those devil fruits the admirals be having. I feel like they keep them close, so the next admiral in line can eat that devil fruit and be as strong as the past admirals. Okay? I also feel like we might see Buggy's devil fruit. I don't know why, but I feel like Buggy is gonna have a part in all this. Something with Buggy is gonna happen. Okay. Now my sixth prediction is Rocks has Emu on their last leg. Now this is very 50-50 because Emu is supposedly supposed to be the last villain in One Piece that we face. And I don't know, could Rocks do that? Could we see Rocks defeating Emu? I don't know, maybe. But I mean, clearly he doesn't, but maybe he gets him to that point, Now my seventh prediction is Rocks will be tricked or played around with by Emu, or like a close call will happen. For an example, when Kaido was fighting Odin, and I forget what this old lady's name is, but she turned into Momonosuke and pretended that she was in danger, and Odin turned around for 2 seconds and whack, he's fucked up, So I feel like something like that could happen to Rocks, possibly. And my eighth prediction is we find out why the island is split the way that it's split. Why does it look like that? It looks unnatural. You have beautiful islands around the world that have natural phenomenons, but this one just feels different, okay? And number 9, we will see the greatest attacks in One Piece history from either Rocks or Emu. I mean, we do have the knot of Joy Boy on Egghead. I think that right now is the greatest attack or just powerful attack that has happened thus far in One Piece. But I feel like Emu and Rocks are about to outdo it, okay? They're about to show us why God Valley is important as it is, okay? And number 10 is Big Mom will have more kids. I'm joking. I'm joking. I mean, she does have more kids, but that's not my 10th point. But I feel like GARP will have a change of heart here. I feel like this island, what happens on God Valley, he will see why the world government isn't what it's supposed to be. I just feel like an ideal for GARP will change here because it already did for Dragon. I don't think the Monkey D boys are stupid. I mean, Luffy's kind of stupid, but at the end of the day, I don't think that they're stupid with humanity. I don't think they lack humanity, okay? I just think that they're unaware sometimes of the things that are happening around them, and I feel like GARP will finally see that, okay? The death of Whitebeard might have more importance behind it than what we originally thought. Today, I kind of have like a theory video going on, and that sparked from my community on TikTok and even on YouTube. People have been saying things because I've been saying things, and things are being said. So all this started for me personally when Rocks was introduced, claiming that he needed 2 devil fruits to execute whatever plan that he needed. I was always perplexed as to why Whitebeard was with Rocks. We thought of Rocks as a bad guy. I also just posted a video about why we misunderstood Rocks. Go watch that as well. But why was Whitebeard with him? if we thought he was a bad guy. I personally would never even think that Whitebeard is lying to us or anything like that, because I think he's so pure and one of the greatest characters in One Piece. But in recent events, to us, it seems as if Rocks really isn't the problem. After Rocks told Whitebeard his plan, Whitebeard was on board, even as going as far as facing off with the emu at God Valley, right next to Rocks and Kaidou. He was going along with all this because Rocks needed Whitebeard's devil fruit. And whatever the plan was, Whitebeard was 100% with it. Rocks never said that he needed to eat the devil fruits. I think that he just needed people with the devil fruits. Because also Harold. Why? But this is about Whitebeard, not Harold. I really don't know what his plan was with these devil fruits, but Whitebeard backed him fully. And I'll say it again, Whitebeard does not have a bad bone in his body. Okay. But Blackbeard being revealed as Rocks' son kind of shed some light on where I'm trying to go with all this. Now, everybody was thinking, including myself, did Whitebeard know that Blackbeard was Rocks' son when he asked, or when he got him on his crew? But what if he did know, and he tells Blackbeard of his dad's will and his goal, or gives him like a notebook or his logbook or something? And a lot of this really stems from TikTok. I got a comment on one of my videos on TikTok because I just made a video about giving Whitebeard his flowers, okay? And in that video, I talk about Rocks needing Whitebeard's fruit. This beautiful woman, Claudia, says, I 1000% agree. He needed Whitebeard's devil fruit. A part of me believes Whitebeard was in on it. Blackbeard is fulfilling Rocks' dream, and Whitebeard knew that. Might be a reach, but never know. Okay, okay, I'm not the only one that thinks this way, okay? And I say, ooh, no, I like this reach. And she goes on to say, it's almost like Whitebeard told Blackbeard that if anything happens to him, he has to take his fruit. Whitebeard also tried stopping Ace from going after Blackbeard. I don't know, we'll see. See, that's interesting to me because I'm feeling the same exact way right now. Whitebeard will do anything to help Rocks achieve his goal, okay? Even if that means letting Blackbeard take his devil fruit. If Blackbeard didn't come to Marineford, Whitebeard was gonna die either way. He was stage 4, okay? Fighting these people. In the manga, half his face or body was like punched off, okay? So he was gonna die regardless, and the devil fruit would have went into the world government. We don't want to see these admiral, well, I mean, that would be interesting, I'm not gonna lie, but I do not want to see these people with Whitebeard's devil fruit. So Whitebeard told Blackbeard, take this. And this is also a theory here, but Whitebeard knows about the special lineage, the reason that Blackbeard and Rocks' bodies are special or whatever. I think it's because they can eat multiple devil fruits. And Whitebeard knows this, so he let Blackbeard take his devil fruit. Now this is all just a theory, okay? But I found it very interesting, very, very interesting. And I want to know your guys' thoughts and how and why all this went the way that it did, okay? I think we're gonna get more and more as time goes by, but I could be 100% wrong, but I still think it's interesting. Now, since Rocks has been introduced into the story of One Piece, the speculations about his devil fruit have gone through the roof. But what if we simply overlooked the possibility that he just doesn't have a devil fruit? Walk with me. Quick channel. Today I am making a quick just rundown of why I feel like Rocks may not have a devil fruit. Now, it would be very dope if Rocks had a devil fruit or several devil fruits. You get me? I'm posting a video after this about the flip side of this topic, Rocks' devil fruits, okay? So just walk with me, walk with me. I've actually been posting a lot of Rocks videos lately, not just Rocks, but Whitebeard, I'm also ranking the Warlord, so just subscribe. I'm almost at 7,000. If you're here, hi. Let's get into this. Now, our biggest point of interest for this topic is, for me, when Kaido says Haki conquers all. He said this in Wano to Luffy. But in the God Valley flashback, before he obtained his devil fruit, he was wishing that he had a powerful devil fruit, okay? He has one of the most OP, powerful devil fruits in the story, but he still thinks that Haki is the top dog in the verse? Well, it's not because of Luffy or King or even Emu themselves. It's because of Rocks. I think Kaido witnesses something that Rocks does to Emu that shakes Emu and everybody in the island to their core. I just posted a video about this. Why Rocks was fighting with GARP and Roger. Now he does this to the ultimate main villain of the story.
And he does this all with Haki.
We will see all that very soon. But that's not my only point of interest for this topic, okay? The Holy Knights and the Gorosei being able to be summoned through these magic circles and stuff, and the only way to defeat them or ultimately return to sender is with powerful Haki, okay? We've seen Rocks go crazy on these Holy Knights, okay? We see this with Gabon on Elbaf and Ray Lee versus Sommers. And even the most craziest of all this was the knot on Egghead with Joy Boy's knot and Emmett. Haki is and can be very strong, okay? And I believe Rocks has all this figured out, okay? I, once again, think that he does something to Emu that scares the shit out of him. Let's be real. And Emu ultimately makes an example out of Rocks. That's why none of the big names that are here on God Valley went on to really seriously challenge the world government, because they know what's up there. They know. Outside of Roger, which I am actually posting a video about what Rocks says to Roger on God Valley that really changes him and the story of One Piece. Go watch that. But the point is, Rocks doesn't have a devil fruit. He is an absolute powerhouse when it comes to Haki, and we'll see all this very soon. I just have a feeling. I could be 100% wrong. I probably am wrong. He probably has an OP devil fruit plus strong Haki. But whatever Haki he does have, I feel like our Straw Hats will also have it very soon in the future. But you let me know. Do you think Rocks has a devil fruit? Do you think he's a Haki master? What's going on? Okay, I want to know. Rocks D Xebec is responsible for the current story of One Piece right now. Walk with me. Hello, motherfuckers. Welcome back to my motherfucking channel. Today, we're making a video because there's obviously something happened at God Valley that changed Roger, and in turn changed the world of One Piece forever. I just posted a video about Rocks and why he's so misunderstood. Please go watch that. And I also just made a video about how mid the Holy Knights are, because I can't. I'm not gonna keep saying it. Just go watch it. Before God Valley, Roger was an absolute gooner. Okay, I mean, as of recently, everybody's making fun of Roger because of the Shaki goonage. Gooner D. Roger. That's what we're calling him for right now. Zero priorities, just gooning, okay? But we need to put some absolute respect on Roger's name, okay? Walk with me. Because he is the only big name at God Valley that went on to do something for the greater good, from what we know so far. Not even Rocks' own crew went on to do big things, okay? I mean, yes, most of them became Yonkos and have their own territories and very strong pirates. I'm not taking that away from them, but nobody changed the story. Nobody made it drama, okay? Unless it is Kaido wanting to start a war, or Big Mom. You know, Big Mom's dream is kind of good, I'm not gonna lie. We all know that it was Rocks versus GARP and Roger at God Valley. And I personally believe, I've seen other people talking about it, but I believe that Rocks says something to Roger in that fight that awakened Roger, okay, to the truth or wanting to seek the truth. I think so. And what exactly was it that he said? Well, honestly, I really don't know. I'm gonna be real, but I have a few good guesses, okay? Rocks could have possibly said something about the Davy clan and how they are aware of things that happened in the ancient times, maybe? I don't know. I feel like the Davy clan will be important down the road, and even back then, like, they did something. The most obvious thing that he said to him was something about the One Piece. But what if the One Piece connects to the Davy clan? I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. But it's possible. But we all know that Blackbeard and Rocks special lineage, and it's the Davy clan. What if it is about hockey? We all know that Roger doesn't have a devil fruit. I am on the minority side of things when it comes to this, but I think that Rocks doesn't have a devil fruit. Walk with me, I told you to walk. And what if it was something about hockey? Because we know Roger is a master class when it comes to hockey, okay? Roger is that when it comes to hockey. And obviously from what we've seen from Rocks, we know he is as well. But ultimately, I think he told him multiple things, okay? Hockey and how you overcome strong enemies like Emu, about his lineage and why his people are going extinct.
The craziest thing about all this is I filmed this video a few hours before chapter 1163 spoilers came out, and in the spoilers, Rocks is Domi reversied by Emu, and Emu is ordering Rocks to take out his family. So I don't know. And I have a video for the spoilers if you want to go watch that.
But I truly think that it was about the One Piece, because like I said before, God Valley, Roger was a YN, okay? Just bitches and riches. That's all that was on Roger's mind before God Valley, okay? And after God Valley, he had aspirations, inspiring millions of pirates, okay? Even creating his own era, the Great Pirate Era. So whatever Rocks says to Roger, it will be revealed soon, and it will go on to change the world of One Piece forever. I want to know what you think he said to Roger. What do you think happened with Roger? Why did his brain change? Why? I upload 2-3 times a week on this channel, so if you want to subscribe, please do. The most misunderstood man in all of One Piece. Why were we so quick to judge Rocks? Why? Let's talk about it. Today, I want to say this statement. Never trust the world government, okay? That's what we say about everything and everyone when it comes to the world government and One Piece itself. They call Luffy a demon, for God's sakes, okay? Luffy, of all people, Luffy is a demon. Now, lying to the residents of One Piece is one thing, but lying to us and us actually believing it, isn't that kind of crazy? Not only were the people of One Piece fooled, we were fooled as well. Good writing on Oda's part, I'm not gonna lie, because we didn't even think twice about Rocks being a bad guy, okay? Now, let's talk about what we've seen and what we know about Rocks so far. He is not only a D clan member, but also a Davy clan member, which was just introduced into the story with Rocks. So we're relating him to Davy Jones, okay? Now, we've gotten the reveal of Rocks, now we need the reveal of Davy Jones. It's like silhouette for silhouette, who's gonna win type vibes. He is Blackbeard's father and maybe, possibly Buggy's father. This is all theories right here. How do you feel about Buggy and Rocks being related. That'd be crazy. I'm not gonna lie, it would be crazy, but I am hoping for it. We know he is from God Valley, and he has a wife named Eris. Her name was seen on a magic circle, so there's more to this story than what we are being told, at least so far. We know he gained his monstrous crew through Davy back fights, which once again is relating him back to Davy Jones. He invades Marijois and kills an admiral. We gotta pause right here. What? Okay. Maybe it's just me because I am an Admiral stan, but it's just, that's the first time in the story. I mean, current day we see the revolutionary invading Marijois, okay? But he did this that we know of by himself. Killed an admiral by himself. Off screen. That runs in the family, okay? But not only that, he also confronts Emu, almost face to face. Who do we know in the story that could do that right now? Who? Shanks maybe? Blackbeard? Possibly. He had a rough time with law, so it would be up there, okay? I feel like he could possibly pull it off with the rest of his crew, but we're talking solo Doflo here, okay? So that put him on a completely different level. Also escaping, okay, without being basically untouched. We see him come to Elbaf looking for Harold. Okay, he needs Harold. We'll get to that in a minute. I forgot to mention, but he also destroyed the Gates of Justice. Now, I just posted a video about me ranking the pre-time skip arcs, and I mentioned this in that video, okay? The Gates of Justice are huge, and like, if you've seen that in real life, it would definitely be unnerving. I'm one of those people where I see something that's huge in real life, I get like kind of nervous. You know, I don't know what that feeling is called, but I know there's a name for it. Imagine seeing just big giant Gates of Justice, and he destroyed them. Rocks! And also on Marijois, he told Emu that he will be back here. For what? I don't know. We'll get to it. He needs to make it back to God Valley to save his wife and son. This far, it's like almost like a coin, each side of a coin. I don't know how you would say it. But you have him doing these crazy things on Marijois, the Holy Land. Nobody ever does this, okay? But also, he has a human side where he needs to go save his wife and kids. We don't know why he invaded Marijois and killed that admiral, okay? But things are looking different from what we thought we were gonna get at first. Not only did he off-screen an admiral, he off-screened the leader of the Holy Knights, Garling. Okay, thank God. I have a video coming about this soon, but Holy Knights, Zero Aura, I've been saying this a few days now. It's just true. And I'm so glad that that we didn't even spend time on it. I don't care about the Holy Knights. I'm just gonna be real. And right now he is on God Valley facing off with Emu, smiling, telling his crew that they are facing the world. It's coming! I am obsessed right now with this story. It's getting so freaking good. Now let's talk about his plan for a moment, okay? We know he needed 2 devil fruits for whatever specific task that he's trying to pull off. We know that he needed Harold for this plan, and we also know that Emu is involved somehow, some way. And if it's not Emu, it's something on Marijois, okay? Because why else would he invade Marijois? Why? Rocks? Why? So personally, I don't even know what his plan is. I know there's theories out there. What are your theories? I would love to know what your Rocks D Xebec planning theories are. What was he planning? What was he up to? Why was he on Marijois? Why did he need 2 devil fruits? Why did he need Harold? Now I want to talk about what made us feel this way about Rocks. What gave us the indication that he was a bad guy? Now when Blackbeard was announced to be Rocks' son, we didn't bat an eye. Okay, bad guy son, bad guy dad. Makes sense. Sengoku introduced us to him, saying Big Mom, Kaidou, Shiki, and a few other bad guys were on Rocks' crew. Okay, makes sense. Not batting an eye whatsoever. But then you get the reveal that Whitebeard was also here. And you get to thinking, because Whitebeard right now is one of the most purest people in all of One Piece. I love Whitebeard. We love Whitebeard. Whitebeard is universally respected. Why was he on Rox's crew? Bad guy on Rox's crew. Something's not adding up. So if Rox was the captain of this crew of these nowadays monsters, Rox was the ultimate bad guy, okay? In our eyes. After finding out Whitebeard was on the crew, we still just went along with it. This was before we found out about the Davy back fights. And also when we see Rox on the screen, you know, if it's the silhouette or even just his name, Roger is usually around in the conversation. So to us, the readers and the watchers, Rocks D Xebec was what Blackbeard is to Luffy. Bad guy for good guy. Okay, so a lot really goes into our convoluted thinking of Rocks D Xebec. And in the current chapter that we're in right now, Blackbeard's mom said she would kill Blackbeard if they were going to get caught. She's very hard-headed, go get him. Love that. I love when women in anime are like that. Love it so much. But I mean, she's going a little extreme. But maybe that's where Blackbeard gets it. It all made sense, but now things are starting to trickle. We're getting tricklets of Rocks D Xebec lore. And it's not adding up to what we thought he was going to be. I also think that Rocks told Roger something here on God Valley that's going to it changes the world of One Piece forever. But I think whatever Rocks is going to do on God Valley will go down in history. He's going to go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the coolest pirate in all of One Piece. I am a huge fan of Rocks right now. I will always be a fan of Roger, but how fast and how quick Rocks is being fleshed out to us is insane. I really want to know what you guys think is going to happen next. I just posted my predictions video of God Valley a few days ago. Go watch that. I give some pretty good predictions. And I want to know your guys' predictions. What do you think is going to happen here on God Valley? And it's like, enough with the Rocks hate. Enough with the Rocks propaganda. I'm tired of it. Rocks was a good guy. I mean, that we know of, okay? But that just goes to show you, never trust what the world government has to say. Never, never. The speculation for Rocks is getting too real, especially what his power is. Today, I want to speculate on Rox's devil fruits here, okay? Walk with me. What's crazy about this is I just posted a video on the flip side of this topic. I don't think Rocks has a devil fruit, okay? So go watch that, see my thoughts. But if he does, these are the ones that I think he may have. We don't really see him attack, okay? It's right before the fight and then jumping to the end. We see that with the Admiral on Marige, while we see him do that with Harold, and we also see that with Garling, okay? His new name is Offscreen Xebec.
I just want you to keep in mind that this was filmed before 1164, 1165. So right now they're fighting on God Valley, Roger, GARP, and Rocks. And even in this fight, we still don't see him use a devil fruit or anything like that. It's just hockey. So my hockey theory is kind of spilling right now, I'm not gonna lie.
And all this is just a setup for his power reveal, okay? And I think it could go one or two ways. And for this, I'm just gonna say it right here, okay? Let me just put it out there. I think Rocks has the Octopody model Kraken. Hear me out! I also speculate that Blackbeard has this fruit, okay? We know they're related, okay, father, son. And that's why we have yet to see Rocks fight, because it will reveal Blackbeard's devil fruit and obviously Rocks' devil fruit. I really can't say why I think this, but it is a huge theory in the One Piece community that Blackbeard has this Kraken devil fruit, Akpa Teddy nami. But another devil fruit that I think he has, and honestly I'm hoping it's this one more than the akpatari devil fruit, and that is the chop fruit. Buggy's devil fruit. An awakened version of that devil fruit, okay?
I literally just posted a video of my Davy Jones theory that he could have possibly had the chop fruit, so go check that out as well.
I'm delusional. I want Rocks and Buggy to be related so bad, so bad. And the chop fruit I feel like is very underrated and will be insane if it's awakened. So really where this comes from is when Rocks is introduced into the story, we see him do the two with his fingers, and it's because he has two questions, but also he could be doing a power, because in the background we see a mountain on Elbaf. Mountains in Elbaf are not just regular mountains, by the way. They're sizes of moons. Let's be real, because the One Piece world is huge, okay? So on Elbaf, the land of the giants, the mountains are huge as fuck. And we see it just be cut in half. How? Why? And I think it's because Rocks chops it in half with the chop fruit. But that's the awakened version, okay? Buggy hasn't reached that level. Maybe he won't reach it. Who knows? But this leads me into my next point. I think the chop fruit is very important, and somebody in the past had that devil fruit. But maybe he doesn't even have a devil fruit, okay? Maybe it's just a powerhouse in hockey. I am on the fence of that. I'm really on the fence of both, okay? But what if he just has both? Because we know Blackbeard can eat two devil fruits. We know he has a special lineage. We know that he is Rox's son, okay? So what if he has more than one? We don't know yet. We don't know anything. Okay. But another popular one is Rocks having Blackbeard's yummy nami, the dark fruit. I like that because, you know, they are related, and it would be dope to see Rocks using it. And if it's awakened, maybe the yummy nami is like Luffy's fruit, where it's the title is false and it's something else. And what if that is the kraken fruit, the black being the ink, the darkness? I don't know. But I want to know what you guys think. What devil fruit do you think Rocks D Xebec has? If he has a devil fruit, do you think he has more than one devil fruit? I don't know. I'm on the fence about it.